Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. And this watch in stainless steel is the 4th generation, 20th anniversary Omega Seamaster Planet Ocean. The model you see here, launched in 2025, has been previously discussed in previous reviews that give a little bit more historical context. We're going to talk about straight-up specs today, so if you want to know more about the context of this watch, check out my previous reviews. I'm demonstrating this one because it's the first example I've seen on the factory bracelet. The previous ones have been on straps. So in steel, 42 millimeters in diameter, 13.8 millimeters thick as I measured it, 47.1 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip if you add the end links of the bracelet. Total distance across the wrist is 51 millimeters with a 21 millimeter spacing between the lugs. We'll throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference. It is large, though not as large as previous Planet Oceans. I'd recommend it on the bracelet for a wrist of my size or larger, so 16 centimeters circumference and up. It is thinner than previous Planet Oceans, so it will fit better underneath cuffs, although probably more of a jacket than a shirt sleeve. Here's your down the barrel, here's your over the top. The bracelet's a lovely piece. It's solid, it feels expensive in the hand. We have a link that conforms to the case, then we have a little bit of a taper down towards the clasp. We have some intermediates with polish. You can see there are channels between the links. We have outer faces that are polished, satin brushed shoulders, removable links fixed by screws, and quite a few of them. We have the clasp here, which you wouldn't have seen in my previous reviews because previous watches did not have the clasp. They were on straps. Here you can see that it features a combination of a push-button slider with what seems to be quite a bit of adjustable length. I would say probably somewhere between 10 and 15 millimeters. And then you get about, I would say, 15 to 20 millimeters of extension when you deploy the clasp. So between the adjustable slider and the fold-out, you do get quite a bit of extension, whether you just want to size it precisely or wear it over some sort of a dive suit or even a thick winter coat or sweater. You can see the faceting of the bracelet and the case is echoed in the design of the clasp. It's a twin trigger clasp with a single swing arm in thick gauge steel, so you have the ability to open it up by pressing both triggers, but then it's a very robust mechanism. Rolling around to the case, you can see no more helium escape valve. The case is steel. The case back is grade 5 titanium. You can see that it is no longer a lyre style lug design. Again, if you want to know more about where this design comes from, check out my previous reviews of the watch. You can just see that it does appear quite well integrated when it's on this factory bracelet. It's the first time on this channel we're seeing both the watch and the bracelet together. We have a crown that's a screw down. You can see media blast and polished. And then this wonderful knurling on the bezel that's super sharp and easy to grip. And you can see media blasted recesses. And then the outer knurling is polished. We have a ceramic insert with cold enamel infill for the indices and the numerals. And then you can see there's a little metal chimney between the crystal and the bezel designed to act as a shock buffer so that impact on one doesn't transfer directly to the other. You can see there's no shortage of luminescence. The bezel pearl and the minute hand are illumined green, so you can read them separately at a glance from the rest of the dial. You can also see your seconds hand is loomed, so your dive timer is visibly operating. 120 click bezel with superb precise action. We have a dial that's no longer made of ceramic, and the idea here between eliminating the date, removing the ceramic dial, and dispensing with the display case back is to make the watch thinner. You can see it's got historically inspired orange quarter Arabic numerals, including open 6 and open 9, more vintage-inspired broad arrow hour and minute hands, applique indices, and then a chapter ring style scale. Outboard is a matte black dial with applique Omega logo and marquee. 2 features to note. One is the time zone function that allows you to set the watch forward or backwards as you travel without stopping the minute or seconds hand. Then the second stop of the crown is the hacking operation where you stop the seconds and you can set it to a reference time. Inside we have automatic winding, twin barrel, 60-hour power reserve, Omega caliber 8912, and it features the stop second, the time zone, a master chronometer certification. So the watch has been tested for shock resistance, winding efficiency, power reserve, water resistance to 125% of the rated 600 meter depth. Also tested for anti-magnetic resilience to over 15,000 Gauss, assisted by the silicon hairspring, anti-magnetic balance, balance staff, and escapement. And then the watch would have been timed to no worse as a fully assembled watch, not as a bare movement, but as a fully assembled watch to no worse than -0 + 5 seconds per 24 hours. And it has a beat rate of 25,200 vibrations per hour, a full balance bridge, and a free sprung balance for shock resistance, and a tri-level coaxial escapement that endows the watch with tangential escapement impulse friction, which is less than the sliding friction of a traditional Swiss lever. And this element, developed by British watchmaker George Daniel, is still a very cool feature of Omega watches. So if you love this watch, reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.